Hey guys, welcome back to Jessin Reads Romance. I'm Jessin and today is the start of a new reading vlog. Now this was supposed to happen in January of 2021. That did not happen for a couple of reasons which I'm going to talk about, but I had always planned to pick up a couple of books that I saw very frequently in 2020 that I never got to, so I wanted to pick them up now. And I had a couple on my list. The first one was Whiteout by Adriana Anders, and I ended up by starting it, and about halfway through I just wasn't feeling it, and I was like not in the mood to read it. So I stopped reading it, and then this vlog never happened. So that happened like in February. I do want to point out something, and this is a little bit random, but the other day on Twitter, Katie Robert tweeted something saying that like, what is up with these first person synopsis in the back of books that actually tell you nothing about the book? And she was calling for descriptions that actually said the tropes, that is what makes you want to pick up the book. And I totally agree. And I just noticed because I used to have this book in paperback, but I unhauled it whenever it wasn't working for me. So now I'm just going to listen to the audio for Whiteout. But I went on Amazon to get a description, and I just noticed that in the actual title, they have the tropes. It says a steamy forced proximity survivalist romance. Like, that tells me all I need to know about the book. It really does. But then if you scroll down on the description, it goes above and beyond. It says forced proximity, forget only one bed, there's only one sleeping bag, survival romance, locked box suspense, grumpy sunshine goddess, and scorching brain melting heat despite the freezing Antarctic setting. All authors need to do this, all authors. Do you know how many books that I've picked up that in the title it said a sports romance, a forbidden romance, a single dad romance, a secret baby romance? I pick up those books. I'm more likely to pick it up if the title includes description of what's happening in the books and has like a trope or a few tropes. Anyway, now that I'm off my soapbox, both the hero and the heroine are in Antarctica and they both witness something. So this is a thriller. This is a survivalist romance, and they get kind of caught up in the crosshairs of some criminal activity, and they're forced to be on the run in Antarctica in sub-zero temperatures. Like I said, I did start reading this book already. I'm starting from scratch. I'm starting all the way over on page 1. And I'm trying out the audio, hoping that this will really pull me through, because there was nothing that I disliked about it when I was reading it. It just wasn't holding my attention, so I put it down. But hopefully this time I'll be able to breeze through it and it'll be wonderful. Next I have The Widow of Rose House by Diana Biller. I think that's how you say her name. This is a historical romance, gothic, mystery, I think like a little bit of ghost story happening in it, I believe. And she's a widow, and I think she's notorious. It says Ms. Alva Webster, the most scandalous widow on 2 continents, has returned home to New York. And she's renovating this old mansion, and I believe the hero is this scientist, and he works with like electric lighting and stuff, and some ghostly things start happening, and she asks for his assistance, and that's how they meet and they get together. I'm really excited. I have been meaning to pick this up, and I hope that it's going to be great. And it's different. It's different from a lot of the historical romances that I usually read. I don't really pick up like gothic historical romance, so this will just be a fun, interesting thing to read. Then finally, I have Strangelove by Anna Guire. I don't know why my book's like cover is doing this. It was just sitting on my dresser. I don't understand. I'm gonna try to have to force that back down. But I saw this book everywhere last year, and I've been really in the mood for alien romance as well. And it's about time that I pick this one up. I think it sounds really cute. I just read the synopsis for the first time. Yes, I bought this book without reading it. But it says he's awkward, he's adorable, he's alien as hell. I already love that. But apparently he's lost this annual choosing 4 times in a row. He's looking for a nest guardian and mate, and so he joined a matching service, but there was like a solar flare and his ship AI had a malfunction. So now this human being has matched with him, and he has to pick her up and bring her back to his planet. Apparently the heroine's mother said that Beryl would never be able to find a husband, so now she has this opportunity to go to, what was the planet's name? Well, it says the Barith colony, and she's excited about all the alien bachelors, and she's going to become nest guardian of the Sunshine Angel daycare. I'm really excited about this. This sounds very interesting. It sounds very cute. I'm all for it. There's also a really cute like little puppy dog right there. He's adorable. So those 3 books are what I'm planning to read during this weekend reading vlog. It might take me a little bit longer than the weekend, but that's okay because I don't plan on this vlog going out until Friday anyway. That gives me a week long to read this before I am going to be caught up with the Mafia readathon. I don't know which one I want to read first. I might do a spinner wheel so I can pick out of these 3. I'm ridiculous, but sometimes the spinner wheel is the way to go. So I think I am going to make a quick spinner wheel and see which one I should pick up first. Okay, so I have the spinner wheel made. Let's see what it's gonna be. What's gonna kick me off for this reading vlog? The Widow of Rose House. So that's what I'm gonna start with. I don't think I have the audiobook for that, so I might just read it in paperback unless I can find the audio on AnyPlay or for free. I love audiobooks, so we'll see. We'll see. I'll definitely start reading it in paperback right now, and I'll update you guys whenever I get further into the story. Hello, good morning. It is time for a reading update. Because last night I finished The Widow of Rose House. It honestly was really good, and that's why I kept binging it. That's the problem with these reading vlogs. If I'm really enjoying the book, especially if it's an audiobook, I tend to not update as often as I should during a reading vlog, but it's just really good, really good. I really like the dynamics between Sam and Alva. It was so sweet. It was so sweet to see Sam, this endearing guy, just open up Alva to the chance at a new romance with somebody who actually deserves her. I totally understood Alva's hesitations with getting with Sam, even though I was just like, but he's so perfect. He's so perfect. I love characters like that. He's such a cinnamon roll hero. He's just awesome. I can't say enough about Sam and also his family. I love seeing the glimpses of his family. I didn't go look yet to see if Diane plans to write some more with these characters, especially with Sam's family, because they were just awesome. I just like them. A whole family of scientists. They were really cute. But what I really did like was the incorporation of the haunted house, the ghost stories. I already mentioned that it reminded me a lot of The Haunting of Hill House and stuff like that. But I really liked Alva's perspective on this house. Her connection whenever she saw this house whenever she was 11, whenever she was young and just old and neglected, but she wanted to bring new life to it. And this was her new start after suffering with a loveless marriage with her first husband, after suffering his emotional abuse and more things that I won't spoil for those of you who haven't read it yet. I really like her coming back and wanting to give the house new life, but also it's the start of her new life too. It's her rebirth. And I also really love her insistence that there is no ghost in this house. Because the more you get to know Alva, the more you get into her perspective. There's this one scene where Sam is recounting basically ghost stories. He's researching, he's interviewing people who used to work there when people did live at the house, and he's trying to find a connection between the stories, because the interesting thing about it is nobody really agrees on what type of ghost is in there. They're like, it's a young woman, it's a child, it's a man, it's whatever. Everyone has their own version of the story, and he's trying to piece together the clues, which is really fun. It's really fun. It's what's going on, what exactly, and I love the explanation for that. But when there comes a point where Alva's just kind of there might be a ghost, and she starts kind of freaking out, and Sam feels this in her, feels her almost having a panic attack. And she was so adamant about there not being ghosts because she's just I don't want there to be a way that my husband could haunt me, because he tormented me in life and I don't want him to torment me in death. The idea that somebody who held a grudge against you, who disliked you very much, could still linger on in the afterlife and make your life worse. It's horrifying to Alva. And I was just my heart broke for her. My heart broke for her. I love it. But Sam is there to calm her and reassure her. And I just really I love their relationship so much. It's very lovely. I also really like when cinnamon roll heroes are also really not kinky in the bedroom, but just because you have a cinnamon roll hero does not mean that they don't know their way around the bedroom. And let me just tell you, Sam does. And I appreciated that. And it was just lovely. I loved it. The whole time I kept messaging Jen. I'm like, why is it called the Widow of Rose house? This house is called like Leaf the House. And I'm like, why is it called that? And it is so explained, and I was just like, I got it. I really love this book. I really did. I'm going to give this book 4.5 stars. It was really good. I do want to go look and see. Hold on one second. Let me check and see if she's writing another one like this. Oh, this is cute. I think that this is a novella length story of Sam's parents that was published. Yeah, 60 pages. It's not even a novella. It's just like a little short of how Sam's parents met. The story is told in the book, and I really like that. How his mom was not like grew up wanting to be a scientist. She kind of fell into it. I thought that his parents' relationship was really sweet. Yes. Okay. Benedict Moore. Okay, The Brightest Star in Paris, and it's coming out October 12th. So this, Dr. Benedict Moore is Sam's brother. I'm so excited. And the heroine's the prima ballerina of the Paris Opera Ballet. What? I'm excited. I'm putting that on my list. I can't wait. But it's so weird that the covers look nothing alike. Like, they're two totally different vibes. Look at this cover and look at this cover. Very, very different. But they're the same family. Just, anyway, that's a weird thing. I like my books to match. This morning I did read a couple pages in Strange Love. Did read a couple pages before, but I'm gonna start the audio of this one. And so far what I know is that Xyler, he's the alien. He just joined like Alien Tinder because he has not competed well in this thing called the choosing. Nobody has chosen him the last 4 choosings, and I think he has no more chances really, or maybe one more chance. But he's in his spaceship. There's a solar flare, and his AI that controls the spaceship is malfunctioning. And he has matched with this alien, and he just arrived to Earth. And it's really funny because he's looking at Earth. He's like, this planet was attacked. It's so gross and disgusting here. He sees the heroine, Beryl, and he basically kidnaps her, but he thinks that this is the person that he matched with, but it's not. His spaceship malfunctioned, brought him to Earth, and so now he took Beryl and her dog. And the funny thing is, he's like, both of these are alien creatures. He has no idea that a dog is a pet, so he's taking both of them. He brings them back on his ship, and he chips them both. And the chip is so that they can communicate. So Beryl can now understand Xyler, but the dog Snaps, which is like a little mutt that Beryl has adopted, the dog can talk now. It's great. I didn't know. I did point out whenever I saw it on the background, I was like, oh, look at the little dog. And I'm so glad. This dog is actually a character. This is great. This is great. So I'm excited. I want to listen to this book while I work, and let's see how far I can get in it. I'm still annoyed with the cover of it just doing this on its own. Like, it won't flatten. It's been under multiple books, heavy books, and it's still like this. I don't like it. Guys, reading update. So I'm a little bit about halfway through with Strange Love, and it's going pretty good. I really like, the sun is shining this morning. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to hold it up. I'll just put lots of thoughts going on. Beryl has been approved to participate in the choosing, and the choosing is like, so the what is this planet called? Baratheon aliens can choose their mate who would be best equipped to protect their nest. And I just really like it because Beryl doesn't really know like the rules of this planet. She doesn't know what's typical in these games and stuff. And so whenever she's participating, she's doing unusual things. Like, she already made an alliance with this like green light plant or whatever. And so they're teaming up while she like protects like these fake babies, and her partner like protects her with her like green fronds and stuff like that. And like, everybody wants a piece of Beryl now because she's like a hot commodity. And like, I feel so bad for Xyler because he's not well considered in this planet, and he has this brother who's an absolute asshole. He just thinks he's the shit. He already has a nest mate, but like, he sees Beryl and he like wants Beryl. I really like the way that they're kind of getting to know each other, because I also love how Xyler planned to get his alien Tinder date and bring her back. And she was a species of alien that he was familiar with, and so he fixed up his place to fit that alien's needs. Well, of course, Beryl's a human and she needs other things, and I just like the way that they're learning about each other. I think it's really cute. He's really sweet. He's like a cinnamon roll alien hero. And the dog, Snaps, he makes it. I love it. Whenever Beryl was competing in the games, Snaps was with Z'Elar in the stands, and someone had made a comment. I forgot what the comment was. Okay, so someone was saying how like, where did Z'Elar find this treasure? It doesn't even matter because she's not going to choose him anyway. Like, why would she, a fierce competitor, want to choose Z'Elar? And Z'Elar basically told them off. And Snap says, you tell them, Beryl is our human. It's just funny. You just have to, the audio is fantastic, by the way. I really love the audio, and I like reading along with it. That's like my preferred way to read this book. But his brother Rizvan is such an asshole. You can just tell he's so pompous. He's used to getting the way, whatever he wants, and I can tell that he's going to be a conflict. But what I really want to update you guys on is the weird alien sex that happens in here. Oh my god. Okay, so like typically in your typical alien romance, humans are usually physically compatible with aliens in alien romance because they just have weird peens. They have the appropriate anatomy to copulate. But I always expect for there to be weird penises in alien romance. Like in Ice Planet Barbarians, there's a spike that's exactly in the right position to rub on the clitoris, and it's just like, it's basically all alien peens are ribbed for her pleasure. They're made to enhance a human female's experience, and that's kind of what I was expecting going into Anna Guire's, and I wasn't sure how this was gonna work. I honestly had a theory. So if you ever watch Shape of Water, because his body is like, it's covered with like this armor, like he's like hard plated. It doesn't seem like he has the anatomy, and so it's like, it has to be like for Shape of Water where it just kind of like opens a compartment. I've also read like a I almost said octopus romance. Is it octopus? I don't know, there's tentacles. It was weird. But so I thought that was gonna happen, but it does not happen at all like that. On Barath, the men are actually penetrated by the women. And so when Beryl's just like, hey, I want to know how to give you pleasure type of things, it's just like, it's one of those instances where I'm reading and I'm just like, fuck am I reading? What am I reading? Because he has like this neck ruff like on the back of his neck that like lubricates itself, and he talks about like his lubricant dripping all over his body. And then apparently he has these like holes toward his back. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to compose myself. And she basically has to finger bang him in his back. And it's just like, it's just comical because it's so unusual. It's so unusual. And I was just like, it wasn't sexy to me because it was just so out there, but it was interesting. And they reached completion. She just kind of rubbed herself on him after, and that's how she was satisfied, but he was like absolutely blown away. So that's how they have sex in here. And it was strange. It was strange. The strangest part about the book is the sex. The rest of it's like wholesome, cute, very light. It's very endearing, and I really do like this book a lot, but the sex ain't it. Anyway, I'm gonna pretty much finish this book today and then hopefully start Whiteout, because I do want to get to the part in Whiteout where I had left off, which is about the halfway mark. So I want to hurry up and finish Strangelove so that I can reacquaint myself with Whiteout and start that book, because I definitely want to finish this vlog in enough time in advance where I have just a little bit of a break before the Mafia Romance Readathon. That's the plan. I'll update you the further I get in here. If there's more weird alien sex, I might have to just skip it because it's not my favorite. Okay guys, I finished Strangelove and it was really cute. I really did like it. I know that this is the first book in a series, Galactic Love or something like that. And I might be reading the second book. I'm gonna give this book 4 stars because I think that the romance was very cute. I really like their interactions. They had some really cool things happening towards the end because we all know that Zalar's brother Rizvan is the bad guy and he does some shady things in here. And I really liked Beryl's friend. What was her name again? I forgot. Kerr? Yeah, it was Kerr. So some stuff went down with that. I also didn't mention the weird sex scenes. The reason why I decided to give it 4 stars is because the sex scenes made me a little bit uncomfortable. They weren't enjoyable. There was multiple in here, and I forgot to mention that one of the other things that she does is that he's sensitive between his claws, and the way that his alien species is made, nobody's ever like tried to touch between his claws, but she has, and she likes to lick between his claws. Like, think of like licking between your hands, like licking in this little sensitive area. Like, some things were just happening that just didn't work for me. It was more like I was like eyebrow raising instead of like, oh my goodness, this is kind of hot. Which is what I normally experience whenever I'm reading alien romances. Yes, it's weird. Yes, they have weird alien peens. But here it was just a little bit out there. So it's not something that I would like pick back up again and be like, oh my God, this was just like so hot and so fun. It was fun. Hot, no. Snaps was definitely the star of the show. I love Snaps the dog. I love how his little doggy thoughts. He was absolutely adorable. I love, there was a scene after one of the trials competitions in the choosing. Kara, who is like a plant creature, goes with them to these public gardens, and she gives Snaps, she told Snaps the dog that he shouldn't just dig just to dig, that he has to dig with purpose. And so she gives him some seeds to plant, and so Snaps thinks he's a dog dad now and that these plants are his children, and it's just cute. So I would definitely read the second book just so I could see these characters again. So yeah, I did like this book a lot. I'm glad that I read it. Now, for Whiteout. I started listening to the audio. I definitely put it on one of my top speeds that I listen to audiobooks on, 2.3 times speed, because I want to get this book done. I've already listened to a couple chapters, and it just reminded me why I DNF'd this book back in like, I can't remember if it was January or February. But I did DNF this book because I was bored. I'm having the same exact feelings, and so I bumped it up to 2.3. First of all, because I read almost half the book already, so this is just like a refresher for me. I'm being introduced to the characters, Angel and Coop, and I just want to get to the point where I was last time so that I can basically just kind of get this book over with. I just have a feeling I'm not going to enjoy it. I really want to like this book. I really want to like it a lot. I just feel like this author includes a lot of superfluous details or descriptive paragraphs that I'm just like, I really don't care. I'd rather get back into the action type of thing. But let me set this book up for you. So Angel is our heroine, and she's working for the summer in Antarctica at this facility, and so she is going to be leaving because she's only part of like the summer crew. She's going to be leaving very soon, and she really likes this crew, but of course she has like some attraction to Ford Cooper. Ford Cooper is like, his nickname is the Iceman, not only because he developed this like machine that basically like gets some core samples from ice. It like makes it very easy for him to get core samples in the ice, very thick sheets of ice without like damaging anything. But he's also very closed off. He's a loner. He likes to go out basically by himself, which is not advised for people who are not used to this weather, and he loves Antarctica. He was in the army or some sort of branch of the military, but Angel has always had this like attraction to Coop, and when we get into his point of view, we know that the feeling's kind of mutual, but he wants to ignore it. He's just like, don't think about Angel. Just don't think about Angel. But then the drama is already set up right in the prologue because someone has been murdered, and he's trying to leave a message with his own blood. So Coop discovers blood, not the message, just some blood. He's thinking it's fishy. He's going to ask some people. We get some weird vibes from this guy named Samson. And then the next day, Angel's cooking her last breakfast, and she decides to go to the warehouse where they store food. And then she overhears something terrible. She overhears Samson threatening this guy named Alex to kill his family if he doesn't show him where it is, whatever. She witnesses his murder, and the plane, which is supposed to take her back to the US, leaves her. I do have some questions, like if it was so close to the plane taking off, like what is she doing trying to go get some food supplies? Like, just, I don't understand why she didn't plan that better. Like, it didn't even sound like she was really packed up to leave. Anyway, that was just like a little nitpicky thing that I just wanted to point out. And this is how I know that I'm not really enjoying the book, because I'm like, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? And I get like that when I'm not enjoying the book. So anyway, she almost dies. Samson almost kills her. She has like a near miss. And Coop wasn't at the facility when Samson was looking for him. Angel also switches these ice samples. So she finds out that Samson wants these ice samples. She has no idea what he wants them for, has no idea, just knows that this is important enough for this guy to kill people over. So she decides to switch out these core samples. She like slaps a different label on them. She unloads it from the sled that he's supposed to take, and then she hides. And then Coop finds her and rescues her, and she realizes she's like kind of close to death because it's very cold, and he revives her, and she remembers, oh my goodness, they were talking about you. Something with your core ice samples. Something is going on. He killed Alex, and I don't know what's going on. Coop realizes, I know what this is about. A couple weeks ago, I found these readings in these core ice samples that I took, and I discovered that there was a very old virus that was like preserved in the ice. And he's like, if I can make a guess, these people want these samples so that they can bioengineer a weapon, a bioweapon. There's no way out. They're definitely going to come back because they're going to realize that they have the wrong samples. There's no power at this facility anymore because nobody's there, and then they killed the rest of the people. They have no vehicles, they have no fuel, and they have to trek across Antarctica to go to other facilities. So there's a South African one, I believe, and then there's a Russian one. And the South African one is closer, but there's like mountains that they have to traverse, so the terrain is harder. And the Russian one is further, but it's like flat downhill terrain, so it will take them almost a month to get there. So this is the romance between Angel and Coop. Forced proximity, they're literally freezing to death, lots of like body heat moments, and that's where I want to get up. That's the part that I need to get up to, is when they're actually traversing the Antarctic wilderness, trying to not be detected by Samson and his team. And you would think that this would be like a recipe for something that I would really love, because it's forced proximity. Not even just that there's only one bed, there's only one sleeping bag, and we have to like conserve body heat and make sure nobody gets frostbite. So like, why not like create some like heat ourselves? But I am bored. I'm bored. I've only listened to the first couple of chapters. I will come back and update you guys once I catch up back to where I am, because I don't remember if they mentioned the group that wants these bioweapons, but I do know that they do have a point of view. There's like the point of view of like a virologist that's working for like the bad guys or whatever. There's like a head bad guy. I can't remember who it is. So I'm going to go get that information. I'm going to listen to it, like I said, at top speed, because I'm like, I need to plow through this. If there's any way that I'm going to enjoy the book, is it's finishing fast. So that's my goal. That's my plan. It's my plan. Finish this book fast and then report back. All right, guys, I'm officially done with Whiteout. It took some serious pushing. At one point, I was listening to it at 2.6 speed because I was like, please get it over with. Honestly, it just wasn't for me. My favorite part of the book, the best way I can explain it, was the first third of the book. I really like the setup, and the premise of the story sounds very exciting. I just wasn't excited by the action. I wasn't excited by what they were going through while they were traversing this wasteland in Antarctica, suffering extreme temperatures and just the stuff that happens to them and stuff. And I just wasn't invested in what was going on. I wasn't invested in it. This book wasn't for me. And then it just kind of got crazy towards the end. It was just like a lot was happening. There was some moments in the story where I felt like everything was just starting to become a cliche. The villains were very like mustache twirly cliche villains. The romance started becoming cliche. I felt like it wasn't, when the sexual tension was there in the beginning, when they were both kind of pining after each other, I was there for their relationship. But once they started confessing their feelings, having intimate relations, I just felt like it turned cheesy. Like, he has this declaration toward the end, and I'm listening to it and I'm cringing the whole time while he's talking to Angel. I'm cringing while Coop is talking, and I'm just like, Anyway, it does end on a cliffhanger, and it's setting up the next book, because I just went to go check. I really love the cover for the second book, but I'm not going to be picking it up. but it does set up what's happening in the second book. So yeah, I know a lot of people are excited for the second book. This is in no way trying to discourage people from reading it. It's just this book wasn't for me. I just didn't have those same feelings of like enthrallment. Like I just wasn't invested in this adventure. That's it. That's all I can say about it. So officially I'm probably gonna give this book 3 stars because it wasn't bad. It just wasn't for me. It just was not for me. So this is definitely my least favorite of this reading vlog, and my favorite was The Widow of Rose House. I love that book. It was such an interesting historical. I loved it a lot. And then Strangelove was awesome as well. Just those few elements that I talked about. But I will be picking up the second book in that series. All right guys, I hope that you enjoyed this reading vlog. I know I'm not the best at doing vlogs. I tend to listen to huge chunks of the story and then have to update you guys on a lot of things. It's just the way that I read. I binge read. Like I do a huge chunk of reading and I zone out. Like the whole world does not matter because I'm reading. Even with things like Whiteout, it was more like if I move from the seat and I let other things interrupt me, I might not finish this today. And I want to finish because the Mafia Romance Readathon starts tomorrow, but I'm starting early. So yeah, that's what's happening. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe to get notified of any future videos that I do. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, life's better with little HEA. Bye guys.